to be sharing with you my 2020 planner setup, so I'm going to jump right into it. I've been using a A5 Filofax system for a very long time, and last year I wanted to slim it down just a little bit to make it a little bit more portable. I tried using something smaller than an A5 size, but it just wasn't going to work for me, so I found this binder on Amazon, and I can link it below, but what it is just an A5 leather binder, and it's helped me carry just what I need. Because if you look, it's much slimmer because the rings itself are much smaller than any of the Filofax binders I have. Along with that, because it's just one piece of leather all the way around, the binder itself is much slimmer. It doesn't have a snap closure, but it works perfectly fine. I've never had an issue with it opening up in my bag or anything like that, but it works pretty well. Now, it does wear really easily, which you can tell by my cover. I've only had it for maybe a little over a year, but it's shown a good bit of wear, but I'm okay with it. It works perfectly fine for me. So I'll jump to the inside. On the inside, I've put in an Erin Condren large pocket. Since it doesn't have any pockets, this comes in handy for anything extra that I need to carry. I use Filofax One Day on a Page inserts, and what I do is I take the front cover that it comes with and I laminate it, and that gives me a nice place to stick sticky notes, which I use for reminders and things like that, right on here. And because it's laminated, it lasts me throughout the year. It's pretty durable. Another thing I use from Filofax is this flyleaf. If I can find it, I'll link it below. It is quite old, but I use this to put different sizes of sticky notes since I always need sticky notes in my planner. I've got different sizes and different colors and things like that ready to access. The other thing I've got in my planner are these monthly tabs, and I just took Post-it tabs and used a Sharpie to write on it. And what I use are monthly inserts from Evo Printables, so I'll show you what one looks like. So I've got these, and I keep the entire year's monthly at all times in my planner, and then I'll keep about 3 months of dailies at a time. So I use the Filofax daily, so I'll jump to a daily so you can see what that looks like. But I've got these dailies where it's got, a time schedule on the left, and I use that to put in any meetings, my work schedule, things like that. On the right side, I keep a running to-do list. If it gets quite busy, I'll separate and chunk out my work and school and home tasks on here, but otherwise it's a nice way to keep a running to-do list for the day, and I can check off as I go through. The top area I tend to use for any all-day events like birthdays and things like that. And then on the bottom, I use old Avery dewdrops or circles that I have to put in any school exams or papers that are due, and I color code them by my different color coding system that I use for my classes. So I'll show you what I've got here. I made this bookmark myself, and I can link it in my blog post below so you can download it and make your own. But I put in my planner key, so I use highlighters to color code the different things in my calendar. And what I do is I use a black pen to write it in my planner. That way I can always find a black pen around. And I use these different highlighters to color code. For my classes, I've got my spring and summer classes. I use they're Tombow twin tone pens, and I color code them based on the different folder or color coding system I've got. And what I do is in my planner, if it's something school related, whether it's the class itself or a paper or an exam, I'll underline it in that color. So it's nice to have this as a bookmark where I can also reference my key for both the planner and for my different classes. On the back, I've got a week at a glance, and what I do is I use these different Post-it arrows or flags that I may have, and I'll put either the class or the meeting or whatever I've got going on, and I can just have a week at a glance since I'm using daily inserts, and it's nice to see kind of what's going on during the week. And then I just reuse the different flags and tabs I use, and then if I'm not using it for that week, I'll just take it and I'll kind of stick it on the bottom here as a little area for storage. So jumping into this, I think I've got through March in here. And right now it's all blank. I haven't gotten a chance to write much in it, so I'll be able to set it up later as we get into 2020. And then after December, I've got all my notes, and it's just pretty much notes throughout the rest of this. So the first section I've got is my section for my blog and my YouTube channel where I'm kind of planning things. So I have used sticky notes to cover up a few things in this section. So you might see that as we go through. So the first section I've got is different things for my channel, The Organized Science Teacher. So I've got blog ideas, some action items, some TPT products that I want to add, things like that. This is a blog planner that I designed myself. I did go online and look up different ideas and things like that, and then I settled on this. So what I've got is, it's very simple, the date, the topic, and like a mini to-do list of what I want to do for that post. I've got a few of those. Then I've got my different school schedules for fall through summer. And what I do, and I can jump to the summer section to show you kind of what that would look like. So what I do is I take my classes and I put them into my Google Calendar or my iCal. And what I do is I actually put the address for the building in it. And what my phone or my watch will do is it'll give me a reminder like, okay, you've got 5 minutes before class, or class will start in an hour and it's time for you to leave, or traffic is heavy, so leave now, things like that. And it's very helpful. So what I do is I put it into my Google Calendar with the address, which is why this is kind of covered up. And I'll screenshot it and I'll put it in here so that I have that with me at all times. I also have and this is the same for each semester, but fall and spring have information about different professors, which is why I'm showing you summer. I've also got the school's kind of calendar in here as well. And then I've got these course overview pages. Again, I went online, found different ones that I liked, and then made my own that kind of fit me. But in this course overview, I've got the course, the professor, the schedule. So once I've got the final schedule for the class, I'll put it in depending on the day, and then just a place where I can track different assignments. And I use these arrows to color code, just like I've got that color code on my bookmark. And what I'll do is once the semester actually gets closer, I'll put the course name or the course code and then the professor's name here, so it'll help me kind of easily identify each class's page. So I've got that for 4 classes in the summer. The next section I've got is my birthday section, and what I've done is I've just taken A5 paper and numbered it 1 through the number of days in the month, and I've just listed the names of the people whose birthdays are on those days. And this I just transfer from each year to the next, and that way I don't have to rewrite any of this. I can just kind of pass it on to the next binder. The next section I've got is my expense tracker. And again, this is just one I've designed. There's plenty out there, but I've just got the date, whatever method of payment I used, the description, and the amount. So I've got just a couple pages. And what I'll do is if I run out of space, which hopefully I don't, in the month, I'll just continue writing them on the back. And once I'm done with the pages, after a month, I'll just file them away in my storage for the year. The next thing I've got is a health tracker, and I've just got 3 months on a page, and then it's very tiny boxes, but all I'm planning on tracking in here is maybe weight once a week or once every other week, and then if I've exercised or not. So I may just do like a check mark and the number of minutes I exercised, things like that. So just something simple for me to track workouts and maybe other health related stuff like doctor's appointments, like physicals and things like that. So got that. I've got the whole year in here for now. I've also got a meal planner in here. I do try to plan my meals as much as I can. So again, it's very simple: breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then the rest of the week in here. I've got a few of those pages in here. And sometimes I'll reuse them for the next week as well, since I may eat the same thing. So I've got a few pages in here, and I'll print more if I need it. And the last section I've got is a notes section. Again, this is just a whole bunch of random stuff, so nothing exciting. I do have just a couple of things in here, I think. I've got a list of books I want to read for the year. I've barely started writing this list, so all I've got is 1 book on here that I've already started reading, so I'll definitely need to get more on here. I've got some tasks in here that I need to get done around the home, and then other than that, it's just blank paper. I've got a lot of blank paper in here for if I need to take notes. In the back, I've got a Filofax top opening envelope, and I've just got different note cards in here, and these are just from back in the day Project Life cards, and I've got them punched to fit the binder, so I can take notes on here, write down little reminders, grocery lists, things like that, and I can just pop them right into the binder for reference. And then on the back of this envelope, I've got I want to say Avery pocket, and it used to have a tab here that I've cut off, but in here I've just got these dewdrops from a long time ago that I used to color code the different assignments for classes. So I'll just write the assignment on here and I'll stick it in my planner on the day that it's due. So I use that for this. Then I've got a few other stickers in here that I use occasionally, but not much. I don't use a lot of stickers. And then I've just got a few dollar bills in here. And I think it's just nice to keep a few dollars in here, whether, you know, at work there's a vending machine or you need to give a dollar donation or something. It's nice to have that. And then the last thing I have on here is this pen loop. And I don't remember where I got it from, but it's just a pen loop that I've stuck on here. That way if I want to carry a pen, I can stick it right in here. Although usually I'll just stick the pen in a pen pouch, or I have pens wherever I go, whether it's at work or school or whatnot. And that is everything. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.